Hey guys, so I'm back with another tutorial. It's been a minute. So I actually filmed this because I'm going to brunch for my sister-in-law's birthday. So got my hair and makeup done. I don't know how this is going to work with a mask, like this shiny lip gloss, just thought that. But yeah, I just wanted to record the look. This is like kind of like Instagram baddie look. Like I noticed this trend a lot where it's more about like the beautiful skin, really simple eyeshadow, like super simple, big lashes, and a glossy ombre nude lip. So this is a look. Let me show you the outfit. Just a little off the shoulder top from Lulu's and like this little wrap skirt from Amazon. Super figure flattering and easy to wear for brunch. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is moisturize. I'm using Laura Mercier. It's like a mask for moisture. I saw that Painted by Spencer uses this and I was like, hey, it's actually like great as a moisturizer too. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a little mist from It Cosmetics, their new hyaluronic moisturizing mist. It's amazing. I use it like before, during, and after. And then this is a primer from Laura Mercier. It's an illuminating primer. Do you see how it has kind of like that champagne finish? It's going to give some further glow and help the makeup look glowy. It's kind of like an underlighting technique. Next we have NARS. I'm using their Sheer Glow foundation, a favorite of mine. I believe the shade is called Syracuse. And I tried this new silicone brush. It's alright. I feel like it doesn't absorb product, but it takes extra time, and now I'm blending it in with a sponge. I really want the complexion to be gorgeous for this look. That's the focus. Next I'm highlighting with Too Faced Born This Way concealer. It's a lighter shade. Putting it on my lids as well to prime, and then down the center of my face. And I will say I don't always use a beauty blender. This is actually a Graftobian blender sponge. But for this look, I really wanted it to be super blended. But you can get the same look with brushes. You don't have to use a sponge. A little teeny bit more just to brighten a smidge. I don't like using a ton of concealer unless I need it. So I start by a lighter layer and then build it just where I need it. I find that makes for a better end result. And it's like you're not spending like 10 minutes trying to get rid of too much under eye concealer. Okay, so now I'm going to contour with a darker shade of that Too Faced Born This Way. You guys have seen me use this multiple times before. I think this shade is called like Praline or Chestnut, one of those. I use only a teeny bit. See how I'm like dotting it very conservatively because it goes a long way and it is pretty deep. So that's my trick. Less is more. If you have to go and add in some more later, you can, but at least you're not overwhelming your face with the first go. So I'm using a smaller synthetic blender brush, and as you can see, this is the perimeter of my face being warmed up, and also it's like the first step in contouring. I love using cream, liquidy kind of contour and highlights as a base because I think it looks more natural, and then I'll set the foundation later with powder and then go back in with the powder highlight and contour to just kind of re-emphasize anything that was blended away. So speaking of setting, this is Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's amazing. I mean, I know it's like super hype, but it's true. It's super good. So I put this in the center of my face where my highlight is because I don't mind that area being a little brighter. And I'm using their honey powder, which is more of a yellower tone, with a stippling brush, which is pretty sparse to set the rest of my face. I like this powder brush because it's gonna deposit just a minimal amount of powder, and I don't feel like I need a lot. And as you can see, I go in with the misting spray because I don't want it to be dry and overly powdery. I want it to still be glowy, but I want it to last. So now I'm going in with a technique I actually saw Jazz Han use, and she uses a darker concealer as eyeshadow, which is a really good idea. So this is my contour shade. I put it on my lid and my lower lash line, and I pretty much just blend it in. I'm all about simple eyeshadow nowadays. I think that's the trend, is like one shade of shadow on the lid, big old lashes, and then beautiful skin and like defined lips. Alright, for my brows, I'm just using Anastasia brow pomade. And I have microbladed brows, but I like to kick it up a notch, especially if I'm going a little bit more glam. And this is, I think this is Ebony. I'm using a darker shade. So just a teeny bit just to kind of pump them up. Brows are really one of those trends, I think, that are less dramatic than before. Before, I think they were super extra defined, but now they're getting a little bit more natural. So that's like the new kind of Instaglam is a more natural brow. So I concealed just to make them super neat. I love a little concealer brush like this because it kind of just fits that area perfectly, and it's sharp enough to get a nice defined line. So blend that out really good using my fingers. I don't use a lot of concealer, as you can see. It's not necessary. Now I'm going to set that concealer with just like a lighter shade from this IT Cosmetics Highlight and Contour palette, just to kind of make sure it stays in place. Anything wet on the skin should be set with powder. And then this bronzer shade from the palette is a great color to set that eyelid, because again, I use concealer and I don't want that to crease. So using a blender brush just so it's a really nice diffused line. Layers are your friend when it comes to makeup. A liquid and then a powder will lock it in and just look really natural. Also make sure to hit that lower lash line. I always tell everybody, all my students, you got to have something on the lower lash line. It completes the look, balances out the eye. And then I took the darkest contour shade just for a little bit of definition in my outer corner. I have a flat lid, so these extra steps really give my eye depth and they make it look a little bit bigger. But these are contour shades. They're not even eyeshadows, but they work great on the face and the eyes. So if you have any bronzers, you can use those on the eyes as well. I'm putting a little bit of gold shimmer from this Pixie face palette. As you can see, it gives a little lift, and most of the eyelid is pretty matte, so having like the dimension between the shimmer and the matte really gives the eye more balance and just makes it more interesting to look at. So a little tear duct shimmer, a little brow bone shimmer, and more misting spray. This is the key to glowy skin, y'all. Lots of misting spray. Alright, I am using a cream blush. I kind of misted the face first because it helps to do cream blush on wet skin. Otherwise it will stick to any powdered skin. So this is kind of like a pretty like neutral pinky browny kind of cheek. And I just love cream blush. I just think it's so natural and glowy. So you just have to play with it so that you don't do too much or too little. So I'm blending the excess out with a sponge. And this is a Pure Cosmetics Creamy Highlight. It's a really old product, but it's funny because I didn't really like it at first, but now I love it like years later. I use my fingers to warm it up on my skin, and I apply this creamy highlight, and it looks more natural to me than powder. I prefer liquid and cream shimmer illuminators because I think they just look radiant and they don't look too overly chunky and intense. Okay, so that first layer of contour was a concealer. The second layer is this powder bronzer again. So you don't have to use this palette. If you have like a highlight and contour palette with like the perfect shades for you, you can see I use it a lot. And then I follow up with a mineralized blush from Milani. This is a classic. Like I even wore this on my wedding. It's so pretty. And then I don't typically honestly do a lot of powder shimmer highlighters a lot, but this is an Instaglam look, so I set it with this Afra Blissful highlight. Time for nose contour. I always go softer and cooler on the nose, because if I put that same warm brown contour on my nose, it would look like two red stripes. And that's like a pet peeve of mine, is when I see people have the overly warm nose contour. Alright, so back to eyeliner. This is Inglot Gel Liner number 77, classic. A wing is definitely Instaglam. You know, it brings the definition to the eye without having to do a ton of eyeshadow. And that makes my eyes look a lot longer and bigger because I have small eyes. Alright, lashes. This is your choice. I honestly don't love that huge lash that everybody's wearing nowadays. I just think it looks kind of crazy, especially on me. But these are still kind of like a little bit snatched. You know, they're still a little glam, but they're not over the top. I am applying a little bit of black Urban Decay Perversion pencil to the waterline to blend in the lashes. And now this is another really important step, the lips. I overdraw them a little using a brown lip liner. This is Conspiracy by Urban Decay, one of my favorites. The brown is a really necessary step because it gives you that ombre effect, where it's like darker on the outside, lighter on the inside. And then I pick a nude. This is a pinky nude, my go-to Afra. Actually, no, this is Alcone Creme Brulee. And then I take a lighter brown, which is NYX Nude Truffle. This is an amazing lip liner too, to help blend out that dark brown lip line. I found that this is a really easy way to do it, as opposed to like trying to be super precise with like a lip brush. So I'm blending out that darker brown with this lighter brown. It's a process, y'all, but it really makes a huge difference. Then I top it off with like a shimmery gloss, and that kind of melts everything together. And this is the look, like that nude ombre glossy lip. So as you can see, it brings everything together. I did a little bit of hair, put on my outfit, and that is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, hope you guys have a great night. Ciao, Bellas.